Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Tea Time with me, Matthew,
It's the
the
first
combo
one.
friend.
It's the first
We've
cup
done a
I've ever had.
million. We've done a million episodes of this. You just can't find them anywhere.
Yeah, we did a million of this in private. You just don't know, but we do this like every day,
We do
literally.
love to get together and consolidate thoughts, feelings, and hatreds of media.
Oh,
We
We did that for
literally
definitely.
did
Friday
that
the
last
13th,
night.
fully 2 hours before this, dude.
Yeah.
We said
Yeah.
that is a gorgeously serene slasher movie, and those parts are so at war with one another that film's like unwatchable.
Yeah.
I
The
said it
thing
was
that just
boring.
become schlock for beautiful idiots like myself later.
And me.
Uh,
And remember, have a tea, get in a cozy blanket, and snuggle up to some discussion.
I mean, for some of us, autumn is coming, fall is coming. It's September. For you specifically, boys, it's more summer, spring coming. But
Yeah.
you know, for me, it got very cold very suddenly, and I can't say that I'm disliking it, except for the fact that as it became colder, I also got the cold. And
It
I've
is
been struggling.
astonishing the length of time this is happening after finishing playing Metal Gear Solid 1. It's literally no one's fault.
Yeah.
Life happens all at once, however is most interesting. I won't spit on that. I
Yeah.
like to
It's
do things that aren't boring every day, but I wish more of them were about, conversing on David Snake's bouncing stealth bot.
don't fucking call him that. If you call him that, I'll leave this
David
conversation.
Snake.
Don't remind me that his name is fucking Dave.
I'm sorry.
Well,
Don't.
you know,
I mean, he's not sorry, eventually, that his name is David.
yeah.
Eventually, it won't feel bad that his name is that.
I mean, it's probably the worthy consolidation of my thoughts. I mean, don't click off anything.
That is all,
But,
everyone. Thank you for coming to our tea time.
my ultimate ideology is that's nice that he's David eventually.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you can
Speaking
Why
continue
of
not?
on in that.
speaking of Dave,
Yes.
it's time to move on to our first point of discussion. Our
Probably just sick sound
heroes,
effect.
our villains, and Johnny Sasaki, the characters of MGS1, and our thoughts on them.
Is this
I have
Johnny
been in
Sasuke
love with
don't-
Solid Snake for every year of my life.
Wow.
Nobody is surprised by this. If anyone knows June is surprised by this, you clearly do not know June.
Do you know what they
Yeah.
did to me? They did.
What?
We had a PlayStation 1, and one of my fun aunts with no actual relation. You know, the best way that aunts and uncles can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gave to us a hand-me-down refurbished PlayStation 1 that was like half the wrong color, which was fascinating.
Like those fucking weird cars that have
It just
Like-
had a yellow disc tray, which is like
Yellow?
nonsense. Yeah, I know.
love
I
that.
don't even know how that happened. But
The
we had
thing
this
is-
refurbished hand-me-down PlayStation 1. For all I know, it was the property of a boyfriend that didn't work out for her and she just didn't want the house anymore. That makes sense because the games that came with it were Resident Evil 2, Final Fantasy 7, and Metal Gear Solid 1.
and they
And then
ruined
like
your
a
life.
bunch of other stuff that doesn't really matter to anyone. You know, like Cooler World. It's a very
Okay.
good video game, but it's about
Yeah.
bouncing a ball in an infinite void and trying to address the unbelievable feelings that will be given to you by every other one of those goddamn games.
Yeah.
I feel
Dude,
like
seriously, they put me on the front goddamn lines of Cloud Strife and David Snake immediately. They
Yeah.
filled me with feelings for people that are struggling with their feelings. And then my life mostly sucked. So it was time for me to struggle with feelings all the way up until we came here to drink tea and talk about how good media can save your goddamn heart
I
through
love
the
this.
power of well-felt and well-loved characters. Just letting it happen to them, but not letting it destroy them. Ooh.
Life coming at you and, feeling the appropriate amount about it.
Yeah.
Which is
I-
usually not nothing, but also realizing that you need to keep moving through it,
Oh,
because
it's
it's better to
astonishing,
keep
dude.
doing it
Yeah.
The like
than not.
stretch of that game after Meryl Silverberg is dead. It's like, hey, here's me, Solid Snake, going back to my stealth venture, shooting up a tremendous hallway of guys to give the player some catharsis. Dope, that was cool. Let's never address the death
Yeah.
until, someone sweet and vulnerable and like, we should deal with it. Like, Matthew turned out to be in my life, comes up to you and he's like, so how about the repercussions of our existence and the life we've chosen to lead, huh?
Yeah.
Even that Salt
Yeah,
Snake
I'm
is like,
like,
no, I'm a stupid sad idiot. I'm worth nothing. And he's like, well, I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
it's like, no, I don't think that's a good way to think about life. Let's try something else. Let's discover a new feeling
Let's
of
try something
acceptance
else.
of things that happen.
Yeah. I have a lot of positive feelings for almost all the characters here in. Not almost all. No, yeah, almost all is right. I just realized I don't really care about Decoy Octopus. That guy's just a freak.
So weirdo, but he's also
Faker.
dead.
Yeah.
So who cares?
I've got to say, each one of these characters are so interesting and full that if we went into full detail about every single character, this section alone could be an hour. But people who fully stand out to me in this game alone, not talking about Metal Gear in a broader context of the series, how he is, his entire arc of just wanting to live anime and realizing that the difference between reality and fiction is a lot of things that are cool in fiction actually have horrific consequences in real life. The can you believe love can bloom even on a battlefield? Everything about Hal. And here's something interesting, Mel. If you save Meryl, Hal decides to stay behind and keep opening the doors while you and Meryl escape, and he's like, "I'm fully cool, just dying. I don't want to live anymore. I've had a
Oh,
full character arc." And then
no.
Snake doesn't talk him out of it. Instead, and this is funny, he tells Colonel Campbell that the chief scientist on base, he wants to live, like, stay there and die in the nuke. You need to, like, knock him out and extricate him.
He's being silly. He's being too silly for his survivor. Let's fix him. Let's bonk him out for a second, and then in a moment of better judgment he can figure the rest out.
Yeah. Another character, Liquid Snake, our beloved
The
baby,
boy.
our beloved little princess that he is.
Our sequence of tragedies and misunderstandings that
Yeah,
occupies the sharpest weapon.
yeah,
is Me and Matthew had a beautiful exchange of messages about him.
yeah. We'll get a
Recreate it for
screenshot
the court,
and put
please.
it in the video. Oh, okay. I will find this string of messages, but
Sounds like Melder calls. You can just talk like people do.
I remember I was talking to June, and for some reason the Metal Gear argument came up, and I was like, "What the fuck is the name of what's the name of Liquid? Like, what was his actual birth name?" Because I remembered that previously they told me
yeah,
about it, but I couldn't remember in that moment. And Matthew's like, "Oh, it's Elijah. They call him Eli for short." And I was like, "Why does he fucking?"
yeah,
It's like he has such a fucking cute name, and his brother is fucking Dave, and he
yeah,
complains about. And we went on. This is too funny. I
yeah,
can't leave this out. We go on about it, imagining Liquid's like life, home life,
yeah,
and Matthew's like, "Oh yeah, he has a beautiful, luscious room with a princess bed, and then we're like, oh yeah, and he has a pretty diary with an art-shaped locket on it where he writes all the problems that he has, and he's writing down with like lying in his bed with his tummy down and kicking his feet up like the fucking teenage girls do in the
Ocelot
movies.
brings him a Belgian hot chocolate and he like throws it in his face because it's 3 degrees too cold.
Yeah, and this is like verbatim what I said to him. He's such a spoiled princess. He like Liquid Snake, such a baby girl.
Yeah.
You know, I do think this is steeped in reality in a pretty important way too.
Yeah.
The man's given such a ruinously specific lifestyle, so predicated on allowing nobody to interfere with the violent cause, thrust onto you through birth, and even then iterated upon further by the propagandized mega freaks the nature of your creation means you feel you can only be surrounded by.
Yeah.
Liquid Snake, don't get me wrong, he should have given up, man.
Yeah.
You know, there was another way. It's not like it took David Snake a minute to get there. It took him a lot of losses and a lot of sweet conversation from some possibly wonderful people who had so many of the same pains he did, as it did unto me. But Liquid Snake never really had any way but to be this vile repercussion thing.
Yeah.
It's so many people with dreams just repeating onto people, so utterly filled with the vitriol, the hatred, the scars and bloodshed of decades ago, of lives already gone over and done with. You know, so often in this they repeat, we need Big Boss's corpse. We're doing this all for a corpse. And I know writers who use subtext. No.
Jesus.
There was man, this is something I acknowledged right at the end of the credits. Whatchamacallit, that phone call that Ocelot has with the president, that is also different in the ending where you save Meryl. And there is one more part of Liquid that is important to get context for from that phone call. I'm going to read it in a Ocelot impression because genuinely I find it fun to do voices.
You're crazy, man. This is our tea party. They can't tell us now. Yeah. Just imagine you're in love with a gun. Come up to you. Linking up with June's point for a second and talking about Liquid for just a second more.
Yeah.
I think that the fact that he generally does not have anyone to talk to that can talk Eli out of the person that he is, and everything that is around him just confirms the wrong things that have been said upon him. It's like there's really not another way for him to be. He doesn't have the luck of having someone that says maybe life should be better, maybe life could be different, maybe you don't have to be this. And also he's stuck in a mentality that has been pushed onto him, and I feel like he definitely does not fully grasp, so he can't fully fight.
He's so utterly incensed by it. There's a contrast I really enjoy. It's in the Psycho Mantis boss fight, one of 100 like industry-changing peaks of Metal Gear Solid 1.
So good, one of like genuinely my favorite points.
As should it be.
Yeah.
You spent so long hearing out Psycho Mantis about what went wrong to him and how he wishes it had been different, and he does a good thing for you and helps you get through and out and over the agony that was the boss fight. Yeah. Which in fiction is such a brain-bendingly terrifying thing.
Yeah.
And still you sit down and listen to the guys he dies. And you call in onto Miller, Liquid in disguise, and he's like, that dude was a stupid coward changing his mind. Idiot weakling. Glad he died.
And it's like, he doesn't understand that you can evolve from a mindset. Yeah. You know, it's not like you can change your mind, and that is not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing, but he just doesn't get it, because nobody ever told him that he could. He was, in his view of the world, for better or worse that he has, for one reason or another that he has, it was created for one thing. And that's his whole purpose. And even if he doesn't understand the genetic part of it, he stands by it because he fully trusts and depends on the people that told him. He idolizes his father, fully knowing that his father didn't like him because his father fully told him, "You're
Yeah.
the bad one." And I'm like, why didn't you keep this one then? Well, like, and like he's stuck on like proving him wrong, but at the same time, it's like he could never be wrong from other parts of his mentality. It's like he's wrong that I'm the worst one, but he's right about everything else. And that's fascinating. It's like he's like, I want to prove myself to my dad because that's, as a child, probably one of the things that is in the nature of a child, especially when they don't like you, if it's out of spite or out of I want their respect. You want to prove them wrong when they don't give you respect. um he's like, yeah, no, that part is wrong. I'm so cool and I'm gonna show you, but I would never question anything you ever said. Don't worry, I am a good boy.
He's
It
such
is
a
fast.
sad little freak.
Yeah.
He
I
is.
love sad little freak villains. He does so
It's
many
like,
grandiose and interesting things, you know? He's
Yeah.
always screaming at you, squealing like an animal from his little helicopter, and he's doing like a game long infiltration ridiculousness just like you. But God, he's all still such a waste of a person. He
Yeah.
really buys into the genetic destiny, you know?
Yeah.
mhm.
There's a lot of like obfuscating factors upon there, interesting lore tidbits about why and how and when. But he's just like, what if I was an accident, and what if that meant everything? If people told me something was wrong with me when I was made and I never let myself believe maybe there was more to me than that. If I didn't actually reflect upon myself so much as I just thrust myself up to, over, and forward, being thrown off a Metal Gear and shot 800 times in a cool car chase and being in a crashing helicopter.
He believes in what has been told so hard, and he is build himself upon it so much that he just giving up on it is not conceivable. All
Yeah.
that he is that. Because like if Dave can separate the what I am, what I want, what I've been told eventually, Eli just can't. Eli doesn't have the support structure.
It
Eli
is utterly
doesn't.
fascinating in the bad ending route how much the game starts with the legendary Solid Snake. Yeah, that's me. Let's do sex. And ultimately concludes with like, I'm Dave. I'm faking my death. I'm retiring. Let's go.
Yeah.
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 It's a very exciting sort of opposite of an aggrandization thing. Maybe there's more thematic meat on the bone later in its actual moment of subject discussion.
Yeah.
But boy, that's a fun arc for Soldier Man to have.
Yeah.
Yes, I can. No, guys, I've given enough, and you lied to me a lot, and I still fixed it. But that's the last favor I'm ever gonna do to you. Good night.
Yeah.
My
Uh,
nephew, it appears you've got your special words.
yes. Okay. In interest of time, because of how much I have spent looking for this, I'll only read the change because the first two paragraphs and the last one are the same, but they take out the third paragraph if Meryl dies.
Alright.
Yes, the inferior one was the winner after all. That's right. Until the very end, Liquid thought that he was the inferior one. Yes, sir, I agree completely. It takes a well-balanced individual such as yourself to rule the world. No, sir. No one knows that you were the third one. Solidus. What should I do about the woman? Yes, sir. I'll keep her under surveillance. So, not only was he a dumb idiot who didn't understand genetics, he was also lied to that he was inferior. He was the
Because yeah, go ahead.
he was the one that twins style had the Julius Benedict superior genetic structure. That's
I mean, he
why,
fell off the Metal Gear and then was fully fit to drive.
yeah, and his punches do way more damage than David's. You think it's just because it's a video game, but no, they actually explain it. And another thing that I think it says is this genetic destiny. He was supposed to be just simply better, but the fact is genetics account for so little of who you are as a person. The empathy, the drive, everything that makes Dave who he is isn't because of his body, it's because of his mind, it's because of who he grew to be.
Yeah. And of course, like it's insane to think that just genetics gonna be enough to make up the perfect human or the
Yep.
perfect soldier killing machine, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And maybe they thought that if they treated Liquid like shit, it's like beating dogs to make them angrier, you know, when
Yeah.
they do horrible things to a breed of dogs just so they can be better um custodians. It's just like it's I think it's the same thing. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, let's treat him bad so he will be angry at the world, and then we can, but like still dependent on us,
Yep.
and then we can point him literally everywhere and he will destroy it. You have someone that is like literally perfect, but the thing is they can still be controlled by you because you are the only one that they care about and the only one they seek the approval of, and you twisted them so much that that just can't change
Yeah.
because they based themselves so much around what you want from them
Yeah.
and what you told them they are,
S-
that they can't deviate from that.
yeah. Speaking
It's a
of
great plan, guys.
stellar work. Speaking of dogs, there's a cave
Yes.
in Metal Gear
No.
that has dogs.
There sure is.
And now we move on to a tourist's view of Shadow Moses. Environments, visuals, set pieces. The
Dude,
environment.
why is this game so fucking beautiful?
Oh, it's incredible.
I
Everything.
can't believe that this is PlayStation 1 bullshit, dude. It's my fault for knowing things about video games and the world around me, but I think
Boo.
PlayStation 1, I think, like, fucking Disney's Hercules, Toy Story 1. It's a lot of just, like, looping GIFs and bullshit to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
well,
this is, like, just some most strikingly specifically directed on flittering JPEGs in the goddamn world.
Yeah, I mean,
Sharp and serious and distinct and incomparable pixels on hardware that, while being able to allow this, no one ever really asked to
yeah.
have stuff that deserved to be a Smash Brothers stage.
And like you look at, yeah, I agree. You look at like Silent Hill 1, which you've also played on the channel. Plug. Um,
ooh,
Hey, you should check that channel out, guys. Come from
Yeah.
Square Clock are real brand new.
brand new.
the pop in there is horrendous. It's a wonderful game, definitely, but like all like you can see where everything like ends. But
True.
I mean that's a reason for the fog. But this one, they actually built every environment that's in this game with Lego, so they knew how to properly 3D model each environment. Because
And
they
they had
wanted,
so much fun, I bet.
yeah,
They
want.
did. There's some great pictures of them beaming over Lego for this and MGS2, I think.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I believe this. I can just picture it in my mind. You can put a picture of me thinking it really hard, and it creates the actual image if you want.
And so with that, they've made it so you can just turn on first person mode. You can look at anything. You can get really close. The from the cave to the drainage ditch, that staircase you mentioned, or every piece of the puzzle of this feels perfectly aligned to evoke the feeling that room needs to. Like the room where you can't use weapons because you may damage the nuke containers. It's such a
Which is something you don't
constricting
want to do.
room. You feel like you're going to suffocate. And then, if you get alerted, they put poison fucking gas in that room. The freezing of the rations in the fight against Vulcan Raven,
That
if you're
is
not.
so interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
I genuinely did. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't expect from this, but no, you have healing items, but you were also in fucking Alaska and
Yeah.
it's winter and you were outside,
And now
bitch.
you're in.
It's frozen. You're holding crackers. What do you think it was gonna happen?
Yeah, it's like. Yeah, the Sniper Wolf forest fight, it's like you are outside, you are in the air, what is going on here? Why do you think this works? And then, like, in the Vulcan Raven fight, you're in a freezer. Um,
Yeah.
but, like, that's more about the next point, but just, like, how chilling, how cold this all feels. The intensity of each of these areas matches exactly where you're going for. And the president's office where you fight Psycho Mantis being so clinical. Like, here you have the most clinical military industrial complex base ever designed. And you go into the president's office, and it's like, oh, luxurious hardwood veneer, eco-friendly wood veneer, leather chairs, the glass topographical map of this entire area, and the busts, and the hunting trophies, and the portraits. It's like, this is the mental bunker of the arms tech president. This is where he fortifies against the chilling reality that he makes money off of the blood of the less fortunate, where he sells death wholesale.
True, and it's also honestly cozy though. In there, it is very characteristic. It's like, yeah, this it makes sense. All of this makes sense to be here, but the difference between right outside on each side of that room is like, and then you enter and it's like fancy and the light is way more warm and cozy and it's like this is a safe place for someone.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, yeah, no, this is a comfort zone. Yeah, yes, I work here, but it's like, yeah, it is a place of I have to work, but it's a comfortable place to work. The other people are between steel, empty walls, and coldness.
Even
I'm
Hal's
fine
office
here.
isn't that well, like, decorated. Yeah, he's got, like, a police noughts poster and a poster of a mech. But that's, like, all the stuff in his office, and then, like, his door is like, Hal's office, keep out!
Yeah, it's like a little lived in, but it's not comfort place
Yeah.
to me. It's like that office room, it's so much, even like mental temperature wise, so much warmer than anything you've been prior.
Yeah.
And then anything is gonna ever be again.
And the fact that that is the one where the mind-breaking boss fight happens, it's a really good juxtaposition there. Here's a
Yeah,
warm,
it's a
comfy
great
place.
contrast.
Like, watch the barriers of reality break down.
Yeah. Watch the person that you had a mentorship relationship with get fully mind controlled and used as a practically shield. It's like, yeah, you want to shoot me, shoot her. And it's like in this cozy place where you can just imagine fucking fat, white, horrible people smoking cigars over weaponry being sold.
It's wonderful what Hideo Kojima's saying, and that's a point for a different thing. But it's not even the next thing. Back on the rations.
Yes.
Did you know that the ice cubes? Those little details, the Hideo Kojima polish. The rations freezing in the cold, the fact that you can destroy cameras with explosions, the fact that if you smoke, invisible infrared lasers will be visible, but your health will go down. Everything that Hideo Kojima makes, he makes to such an incredibly minute degree. Everybody is familiar with the Death Stranding pissometer. And this title, while not referential to Metal Gear Solid 1, it is referential to probably the most well-known little detail in Metal Gear Solid 2, where if you knock over anything with ice in it, the ice cubes will melt in real time.
That's awesome sauce. That's great.
Hideo Kojima, the amount of polish to make Metal Gear believable in such little ways? Like, the suspension of disbelief for how this nuclear mech can be possibly kept hidden from everybody. You don't need to worry about that, because you've got, like, so much letting you know this is real. If you spend too long in prison shirtless next to this guy with a cold, Johnny Sasaki, you get the cold.
So funny.
If the dogs urinate on you, they no longer mind you because you've got their scent. If you stare at Meryl, she like blushes and is like, "Oh, stop it, you," because she has a little crush on Solid Snake. If you approach the hand dryer in the bathrooms, it goes off. You don't need to do that. This is a PS1. This is like, what was this, 1997, I think?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's like late 90s.
People didn't care about that, but Hideo Kojima did.
People definitely didn't expect that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, not even a little. Especially like, oh yeah, if you get close to this appliance, it goes off. It's like, the fuck? It's insane. That's like so unnecessary.
The
but
enemies hear your
real?
footsteps. Yeah, like you walk through a puddle or like some clangy metal, and they're like, "What was that?" The following of the footsteps in the snow. When I was a little kid, I was like, "How is he tracking me?" And then he literally says, "Those footsteps," and I'm like, "What?"
It came out in 98, by the way.
Okay.
Hey, good for her.
It's like, you don't need that, but it makes everything feel more lived in and real, which I feel like compensates on the graphics. Being definitely not bad, you know?
Yeah.
It's a PS1 game, but still, it's not like photorealistic. But those little additions of, oh, this person blushes, or oh, the dogs don't care about me anymore. Oh, I'm outside, my food froze.
Johnny Sasaki is left naked in the damp prison in
and he gets a cold.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I feel like the things that are happening around me are real, and I feel like less the need of questioning for how did they not find out what this huge robot that they were making was. And like, probably it's just the government lies.
Yeah. Like, you
And I
heard
can
how
just believe that.
he's like, this is like a anti-nuke defense platform. And like, the people in the other building are making a nuke that fits in the, like, railgun that you've made for defense. And it's like...
And he's like, what? Huh? But I hate those!
Yeah.
That certainly can't be true. And it's like, no, the government just lied. And I believe that, because, like, why would he lie?
Hal
You know,
is
they're very good at showing me that this man has no lies inside of
he's
him.
just a sweet little boy who wants to be happy and wants other people to be happy. And unfortunately, the world is like, you need to fight for happiness.
And it's like, do I have to fight with nukes though? Can't I fight with, like, hey, do you want to get a coffee?
Yeah. Can I tell the pretty woman who's like, who loves dogs like me that, like, I like her? And it's like, she's dead now.
No. It's
Well,
like, fuck.
can I tell the pretty man who likes dogs like me that I like him? It's like, well,
Like,
maybe, but the
maybe.
game's over now.
Yeah, so, like, figure it out in the post game when you're alone out of our screens.
And now, in the conclusion of environments. In the
Rats.
conclusion of
I
environments.
loved staring at the rats.
The rats.
There are rats there, and I spent maybe 15 minutes of when Matthew was trying to punch Sniper Wolf to death,
Yeah.
just staring
note.
at the rats.
I have an
Yeah.
Ice Cube note.
Yeah?
Yes, sweetie.
I'm getting it out of this paper.
No, oh no.
Shit. Oh.
Fuck. What a fuck. No.
It's gonna be great.
Oh.
Okay.
You broke 17 cups.
Let's see. It says here on my note. Hideo Kojima is a freak. Bad start. And we would all be lesser if he or us expressed any lesser than the maximum quantity of freakiness we have to give.
Yeah.
To be so attentively minded, to want to make Metal Gear Solid the fullest thing it ever could be, for blow dryers to blow, and for things that can freeze to freeze, and for the game to have two divergent routes based off of your real-world ability to endure pain.
Yes.
These are the things that make it so completely, infinitely easy to believe in this setting with psychic warriors and super soldiers and anime-loving mech creators. If Hideo Kojima didn't first believe in all of this to fill it so extensively with himself and what he thinks would be nifty, I don't know if ever any of these eclectic absurdities would have made something beautiful. But they did. And it's
like...
full of me and him both now.
Yay. I feel like it's important to put yourself in what you create.
Yes.
And despite the fact that maybe perfect is the enemy of it's done, it doesn't mean that you are allowed to not put any effort in it, you know? Or that you shouldn't put any effort or take your time for it. Nothing is ever gonna be perfect, but put your art into something you love and you want to make, and that's probably gonna be rewarding for you and for whoever is witnessing what you're creating.
Yeah. I would like to just take a moment of this, like, Hideo Kojima's polish to talk a little anecdote about Metal Gear 1. I know we haven't played that yet, and it was probably best suited for that one, but I still want this on the record, and I want Mel's reaction. Hideo Kojima grew up wanting to be a film director. At that point, you needed a film degree to make films, and he didn't have that, so he decided to go into video games, and he became just a video game, like, work line programmer. And then he kept asking for a game, he kept asking to be able to make a game, and they kept just, like, shooing him away. Eventually, they gave him the task of making a war game from the MSX, a system that could not possibly support a war game. It was basically a catch-22 of, we're going to give you a task that you're going to fail. If you say no, we are going to never let you make a game again because you rejected this task. If you say yes, we're never going to let you make a game again because you're going to fail this task.
Yeah. And now we're like, you can possibly argue with it because you either said no and it's like, well, clearly you don't want to put the effort in, or if you say yes, you're gonna fuck it up because like, and we have the possibility of saying, well, you clearly weren't up to the task, so maybe ask again in a couple of decades.
Yeah, he understood this, but he was smart. He realized, hey, there can be a max of 3 enemies on screen. Why don't you make the war game about avoiding enemies? And he made one of, if not the first, stealth-based game in the world. And he made it so incredibly well that Nintendo ripped it off and made an unlicensed sequel, and basically Konami were at their knees for Hideo Kojima after that to keep making more. And every time he's like, I want to do something else, and it was like, he kept making more.
And I feel like that's a great fuck you. You
Yeah.
know? It's like, oh, and your company now depends on this.
Yeah.
It's like, try saying no to me again. You go
It took
bankrupt.
them a very, very long time to do it.
Yeah.
And how did that go for them?
Not
It
well.
ruined their reputation.
Yeah.
globally for 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, well, if you don't allow me to make my art, then you probably will be sadder for it.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Anywho.
Good luck crying in the pittance that remains to you.
Yeah. Anywho, our next point.
It's a pretty good segue point out of getting into MG1 and the franchise
Exactly.
ongoingly.
Exactly.
Lucky you.
Yeah. What is a Metal Gear? Story, lore. Is it interesting? Is it understandable? Thoughts?
Thoughts, prayers.
It's the story of Metal Gear. It's incredible how so many parts can be moving at once and still be understandable, integral, and just generally consistent.
I feel like definitely there are a lot of parts moving and they leave you with a mystery for a good part of it. But that leaves you space to wonder, make up your theories, act accordingly.
Why is this guy calling himself Snake? I'm Snake. Why is the DARPA chief's story inconclusive with everybody else? What is this thing about like killing people with stealth and knives? I don't use knife. And who's helping me with the mines?
Like, it leaves you a lot of questions, but I think he does a good job answering all of them. You just have to commit.
Exactly.
You know? Believe in it, keep playing, keep exploring the world, keep meeting people, and I genuinely feel like it's pretty satisfactory. I don't think it leaves you with any questions
It leaves
in
you
any
with one
regard.
question, and it's a big question.
Yeah.
Why does the world allow nukes?
That is, yes. That's
Jesus wept, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, because they spent a lot of time telling you, this is stupid, this doesn't work.
And the credits are like, they tell you about the nuclear disarmament agreement, and then they tell you like, hey, this many nukes are still like unaccounted for or in action. And it's
Yeah.
I understand this isn't really about the story, but in a way it also is about the story in that this
the
game
story has
could
a
not
message, so it is about the story.
Yeah,
you know?
this game could not exist if Hideo Kojima didn't care about the world. And this story, Metal Gear as a franchise, is about caring. It's about caring and learning to care the right way.
Mm.
Like,
And like being
nobody.
willing to care as well, I feel like
Yeah.
opening yourself up to the possibility of caring and loving and giving someone else attention, and
Nobody.
even
Yeah,
when
yeah,
it's difficult.
exactly. Is it understandable? I would go 100%. Everything that isn't explained here is explained elsewhere. And yeah, maybe that may be a cop-out answer, but you can't deny this is part of a franchise, and if you have to engage with the rest of the franchise, pretty good hook.
I mean, if you want the answer from someone that does not know shit about the rest of any of this and experience this for the first time through you,
yeah,
it is understandable. I know that there are references to other things in
yeah,
other that come from other games, I'm assuming,
yeah,
but they are explained enough for what they matter in this point.
Explained enough that you were so capable of still spending 20 gorgeous minutes talking about Frank Yeager and his horrible, confounding relationship with his little sister
yeah.
Naomi.
Yeah, yeah,
Frank,
and I don't know where he comes from,
he was,
but
yeah,
they tell me enough for me to care. I don't, even if this was the only thing, and it is the only thing that I experience, I still understand that character
yeah,
to us, to the point that they probably care for me to understand that character in this game. I
yeah,
know that is probably more important in the game he is from, but I'm not playing that. And if I'm like looking at this singularly, it's perfectly understandable, and the characters are fully realized characters that can exist in their little boxes.
yeah,
It's amazing how much I'm only ever going to finish Metal Gear 2 through watching Matthew finish it and me occasionally bringing things across from a video game walkthrough I'm reading to him.
yeah,
And even then, the culmination of Naomi and Frank's crisis in this game, of Frank getting to exist as an uncomplicated hero thing when he himself thought it can't be and he never deserved it, dude.
yeah,
Cry yourself to sleep, but in like a
Yeah.
wonderful, affirmed way, man.
yeah,
Yeah,
Fantastic.
it's like I don't know him, but I know enough to feel for him. Like they
yeah,
explain to you enough to make you understand the struggle that matters right now, the struggle that is going through in this game, and that's why he exists in this game.
yeah,
So definitely go and check out the other games, but if you don't want to, you don't have to.
yeah,
It's explained. You know, if this is specifically what you want and you enjoy this specifically and you don't think you'd care about another story with a similar cast, you don't have to explore that. Definitely probably do that because it seems interesting, but if you don't want to,
I
don't
forget her
have to.
name right now. I think it was something like Elizabeth. But the person who's fits Naomi's role in Metal Gear 1 is straight up this like Hime Dere type, like you have to be of a certain level to talk to me, and she will straight up refuse to help you unless you hit certain like level up points. And it's possible to permanently level down, at which point your save is just fucked because she will refuse to help you unless you're a certain level.
Well, if you don't want to deal with that, don't.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Don't. It'll be okay. You can play
So-
the one that is in a form that is enjoyable.
Yeah, very enjoyable. I mean, I haven't played it. I have enjoyed it through my
It was
eyeballs.
ridiculously fun to
Yeah.
even observe
Yeah, yeah.
the play of
I
the
didn't
game,
have to
man.
ruin my fingers. My bones are okay.
And so, as it is enjoyable and understandable, you would say it is also interesting.
Oh, very deeply interesting, very captivating.
Absolutely.
It kind of came to a point where I was like, when are we recording the new one?
Oh
Like, I
yeah.
was about to go to bed. I was in bed with my boyfriend. I was like, we need to record more. I want to know the things. And he was like, but I sleep. And it's like, but I want.
What happens to what happens to like Princess Liquid?
What happens to Princess Liquid? Will he be okay? What happens to little baby Eli?
Exploded
He wasn't
internally.
okay. He wasn't okay. He was so
Those
not
are a
okay.
lot of
Die!
times over.
Uh,
Yeah.
but I think he will write all about how his mean little twin brother ruined his week in his pink fluffy diary with the heart locket on.
Yeah.
And he will feel so much better after he journaled.
Speaking of liquid journaling, we're not finished yet, brother! Conclusions and final thoughts. Metal Gear Solid, it's incredible. For this to exist in the year I was born, for this game to be as old as me, 26 years old, is
Jesus.
incredible. It is... I can't put into words the accomplishment that is Metal Gear Solid. It is an art piece. It is a fun video game. It is a tactical strategy game. It is a stealth game. It is a like item combining adventure game. There is no end to the fun that Metal Gear Solid as a franchise has brought me, and I genuinely believe that Metal Gear Solid is the turning point from when this became a niche Japanese game to this became a household name.
Metal Gear Solid 1 is so good that it makes me completely miserable.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's something about the way that there is genuinely a finite amount of content in that video game, and
Yeah.
that it is so precisely steeped within itself and its conflict and the people that occupy it that I just wish I could live in it forever. I'm so extraordinarily and permanently and formatively fond of so many of the beats of this video game.
Yeah.
Meryl realizing maybe it's all bullshit and spending so many of the last words she ever occupies in this bad ending to like, well, maybe people are the valuable part, and this being reflected through Hideo Kojima's sheer existential dread and terror at bombs that make you melt.
Yeah.
Which is the worst thing ever, which I don't think about because it's too bad for me to let myself think about.
Yeah.
And all of this being lived in, experienced, reacted to, and dealt with by people I found and will always find so empowering through their vulnerability to.
Yeah.
Campbell's failure to tell the truth and eventual concession that he has to do more right by you. Solid Snake choosing to remain a friend with him.
Yeah.
To accept literal piss-soaked anime freak as his partner in crime
Yeah.
forever. And this to
Even
happen in such an area where you consort with and soothe so many of the worst, scariest people through death and make them feel like it'll be alright.
I love that so fucking much.
yeah.
I can't express how interesting that was to me. And there are a lot of things that are interesting to me in this. I can't speak on the how it feels to play. I don't know. Is it also the type of game that I would play? No, absolutely not. I'm sorry, but the being able to experience it as a story that I can perceive, it was probably the best way for me to do it because I would feel worst if I didn't know about all of this. The way that he, after fucking fighting these people to the point of they're dying, because like he doesn't have another choice. They're either gonna kill them or they're gonna kill him.
And if
But
they kill him,
regardless,
they either
the world
nuke the
explodes.
world or are gonna have the world's tightest stranglehold of domination.
Yeah, it's like it's not a easy. It's not the easiest choice to make because it's never an easy choice, I guess, to kill someone.
Yeah.
But it's the needed choice. I don't think he takes any pleasure in killing them. I don't think he ever took pleasure in killing anyone. He doesn't seem like the type, honestly. And he just listens to them and he reassures them. He doesn't need to do that. He's on a very strict time schedule. He doesn't need to sit down next to fucking to Psycho Mantis and listen to his life story and like, please let me redeem myself for a minute. It
Yeah.
doesn't need to do that. It doesn't need to listen to the horrible shit that happened to that kid to turn it into the adult that he is. But he does that, and it's like he gives them the decency of privacy in his last moments alive, and he doesn't think about it. He's just like, hey, can you please put my mask back on? Because I want my last thoughts to be my own.
Yeah.
And he just does it. There's no question, there's no pettiness or vindictiveness. He just does it, feels sad, and moves on. Same thing with Sniper Wolf. Yes, he kills her, but he doesn't feel good about killing her, and he listens to her, and he reassures her, and he's just like sweet to her.
Yeah.
It's like, no, he's like, yeah, I understand why you're this way, because you told me, and I get it. And he's like, no, you still are a wolf. You're not a dog. And like, that could mean nothing to us or to another person, but he means the word to her.
Yeah.
And he's like, can I have my gun? Because it's part of me. Can I have my sniper rifle? Because it's part of me. And I want to die with it. And again, he's like, yes, of course. He's not a vindictive person, and there's still, I feel, so much self-hatred in him in regardless because
Yeah.
of what he does. And there is self-hatred because he doesn't like probably what he does, but it's what he knows. It's his job. And like, is he having the worst week out of all these people? Not for the time pressure. Because like, the time pressure, the crunch, the situation of urgency and crisis, it's what he lives for, in the way of like, it's his job. Like, would you say that a barista is having the worst day of his life because there's a lot of cappuccinos coming through? No.
Oh no.
But it's the people he experiences in between and along all the things that are happening, all the discoveries that all the things that he becomes aware of, and like the deep betrayal of the structure of the military, feeling used, finding out just genuinely so many things that he just never thought about. It's like, yeah, no, I trust them. And like being betrayed by people that he trusted.
Yeah.
It's like, there's something you're not telling me. And he lets Colonel Campbell get away with it for literally the majority of the game. It's like, it keeps giving him trust, and that eventually is repaid, and they work it out. But still, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And he still finds so much emotion and decency, and that's something you probably don't fucking expect from military strong boy in military game. It's like his talk with Al about the nature of love and where can love happen. It's like, you don't come to this game expecting that.
Yeah.
You don't expect that man that crawl in the fucking vans and sewers and shot people and like crawls in boxes to do that.
Yeah.
But I feel like the game is like, hey, despite all of the shit that is happening, these people are still people. Yeah, he's a soldier. He still has emotions. Yeah, Al is a genius engineer that makes mechs. He's still a person. He's scared. He has doubts. He wants to fall in love. He has hope. He has shame and regrets. And so do the villains. the amount of explanations of why the villains are what they are and the compassion that is still there, because you don't have to agree with someone or condone someone's actions to understand them.
Yeah.
And there's so much emotion in this game that I don't think it's expected. Just like you don't expect that NPC to blush or air thing to go on if you come close. Also, everything that happens with Meryl, the conversations that they have, and I personally, as I understand it, in the good version, it's a romantic thing. I don't
Yep.
like that. Like if she has a little crush on him, I can see that. He's
Yeah.
an attractive guy. He has a very particular personality. I understand the appeal, but I don't think it should be met with also love. I think it's a, if anything, it would be a mentor mentee thing.
That
But I
makes
also
sense.
believe that she really needs to find her own life.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see those thoughts come out that way out of her. And it's interesting how he responds, and it's still sad how it ends. But it's not for nothing. It does impact people, and it does impact Dave. It does. Because he feels guilty. So guilty. And it's just it's like it's your job. These things happen. You shouldn't feel guilty, but he does. Because people aren't their jobs.
Yeah.
It's like you're supposed to be the ideal soldier, legendary, cool dude. And then the dude is like, I hate myself. You shouldn't like me. I'm shit. And it's like, but
It's
you're like literally the golden edition of any military guy. It's like, no, thanks. No, thanks. Go away. Don't like me. It's bad. It's bad in here.
You know who was a real soldier? Frank Yeager.
There's so much stuff that happens,
Yeah.
and it's all so emotional. Genuinely, on all the directions possible, it is. Like, even fucking Nastasha, which we made fun of Matthew for calling her every 5 minutes.
I like her. Yeah.
And
five
then
minutes.
and then she spends so long talking about what happened with nuclear bombs and radiation and all of that and how much that impacted her.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, everyone is a real person here.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. I didn't expect everyone to be a real person here. And it's just good.
Yeah.
Just is. It's like, does it leave you with sense of sadness because you didn't save Meryl and all of this exploded, and you know that the government is lying? Yes, it does, but it's meant to. It's meant to, and it does its job pretty perfectly.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
Awesome. June, thoughts?
Perfect's a good word.
Yeah.
They made the video game well to facilitate the best feelings in the world. Intrigue, technologically, full feeling, emotionally, lust, boyingly. But from where I am and from where I'll always be, I'm in Shadow Moses.
Yeah.
Go into a stupid elevator to have a conversation about love being possible anywhere, anytime, between any set of people. I'll never get out of there.
Yeah.
But I think this makes me believe that no matter the baggage of me, no matter what's happened and whatever may come, I would be letting down everyone and everything if I was anything less than still myself. Person who would like to have feeling and meaning and connection and catharsis. And fun, too. So thanks, military shooter. Love is real.
So true.
Fully is. I can't do better than that. Love is real.
Do your own thing.
Metal Gear. It is about
It is a type
care.
of meat. It is a kind of nut. It is
Yeah.
the only vegetable.
It is. It is. It's about caring. It's about trusting. You see, Snake. He cares about Campbell. He wants to trust him, and when given the option to never trust him again, he's like, "No, I'm giving you another chance because I care about you." Snake, he trusts Naomi, and she betrays that trust because she cares about her brother. And he forgives her because he cared about her brother too. When Frank Yeager is like, hey, you need to tell Naomi how much I've betrayed her, he doesn't because he cares about Naomi, he cares about Frank, and she believes him because she trusts him. And I may just be reusing these words again and again and again, but it is so empirically evident that this is what this is about. And I genuinely believe that it does hold true to the big old poignant point that if we really care enough about humanity, we can trust ourselves to get rid of the nukes.
Yes.
And there are a lot
Fuck
of
the nukes.
people who aren't trusting the other side rather than trusting the one side that is humanity.
Because people are scared to care, I think. People are scared to trust.
Yeah.
And that's just sad, dude. That's just sad. I hate that it's seen a better option to close yourself to the world and not trust. Because like, oh, you don't know, you couldn't. It's like,
I
yeah, but what if
think,
something happens? What if something bad happens?
yep,
Like, what if something good happens?
yeah, exactly. What if something good
I
happens? And
I hate that, like, being optimistic, it's often seen as being stupid and naive.
to quote one of my favorite movies, I am a warrior. I am a warrior of love and my weapon is kindness. In another
That's
world,
beautiful.
I really would have liked sledding and raising wolf dogs.
But in this world, you are allergic.
Anywho,
Well, I finished my tea, people.
me too.
Me too. Did
Well,
you guys finish your tea?
yeah, did you?
Stares at the audience.
Or did you, girl, Madeline, named after platformer Celeste, aforementioned in most recent Combodome?
We remember you.
Me too. We love you.
We
Little
love you
hug.
all. Combo fans, thank you for watching. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you for opening yourselves up to our little slice of the internet because it matters to me and it matters to June and Mel
Hideo Kojima.
and Hideo Kojima. And one day, I hope, this all matters to you too. Goodbye.